Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Eve coming to y'all with another episode of Hit the Sled. Hey, before we get started on this episode, hey, need you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, go to Hit the Sled. On my YouTube channel, they got a little button there. Subscribe, just hit that button. And watch the videos, like the buttons, and that'll be able to get my likes up, get my subscription up. People get to watching it, and I can be able to get more and more people to come on to Hit the Sled. But also, not only am I on YouTube, you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, and I'm also on TikTok as well. So whenever you need to find me, I'm on all the platforms out there. But on this episode right here, as we get going, on this episode, we're going to be talking about the NFL championship games. The first game we're going to be talking about is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. This look like it's going to be a classic game right here. This is going to be a classic game. In my opinion, this game is all about Lamar Jackson. This game is going to be all about Lamar as far as is Lamar going to be able to beat Pat Mahomes. The Baltimore Ravens are going to be able to beat Pat Mahomes. This is the first time Baltimore is hosting a playoff game probably since back in the, I believe they talking about way back when Johnny Unitas was with Baltimore when they were the Baltimore Colts. If you go back, the Ravens, even during the Ray Lewis in them era, they never really hosted an AFC Championship game at home. Of course, they've had home playoff games, but not an AFC Championship game. That's this is a big deal for the Ravens to hold an AFC Championship game in their own building. And Lamar, this is Lamar's first AFC Championship game. This ain't Pat Mahomes' first rodeo right here. This gonna be something right here to see. It truly is. It's gonna be something to see right here. I'm trying to tell you guys something. When you look at this game right here, the Ravens are clearly the better team. Let's not make no mistake about it. The Ravens are the better team. Other than the quarterback position, the Ravens have better players on every other position. Just maybe in the secondary, and we'll get to that. The Ravens, their offense are better than the Chiefs overall. The defense is comparable. Kansas City has been playing outstanding defensively this year. That's the thing that people are not really talking about. They don't want to give Kansas City too much credit, but Kansas City been lights out on defense all year. They've been playing great, and even last week against the Bills, they made stops when they needed to make stops, and credit to them. Credit to them, man. Kansas City defense has been lights out all year. In some aspects of their season, Kansas City defense has carried the offense. They have won games this year because their defense. One game in particular, I remember they went down to Jacksonville early in the year. They beat the Jags. I think that game was 20-13, something like that. And it was a struggle. Defense had to make some plays at the end for them to get that win. I remember earlier this year they played Cincinnati. And the defense came up with like 6 sacks to end the game. Kansas City has been carried by their defense all year. That's what a lot of people are not talking about. This offense by Kansas City has not been humming all year. Last week they played really well, but that was against a depleted Buffalo team. So offensively, they needed everything that the Kansas City defense has given them to help them out for them to get wins this year. And if you look at it, the question is, can the Ravens beat Kansas City? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And one of the reasons why I'm asking myself that question, I remember years ago, because they haven't been playing recently, but early on, Kansas City used to play Baltimore a lot. They used to play them all the time. Every year they used to play them. But the one thing I remember about those games was Kansas City will always make Lamar they will force Lamar because of their offense to become one-dimensional. The Kansas City offense back then was so explosive where they would jump out to a 14, 17 point lead, and they would get the Ravens totally out their comfort zone. Even back then when they had Lamar, the Ravens were a run oriented team. They wanted to run the ball. They just want to pound it. Now Lamar has gotten better passing the ball. So it's Kansas City's offense. Are they going to be able to jump out to make Lamar one-dimensional? For Kansas City to win this game, they're going to have to make the Chiefs. For Kansas City to win this game, they're going to have to make the Ravens one-dimensional, meaning that they have to force them into being a passing team. So which means that Kansas City got to score. Kansas City has to be, if Kansas City is up by 2 possessions, 14 points, 17 points, the Ravens are in trouble. Because I don't believe Lamar can be able to just solely pass the ball for them to come back and win that game, a 3-possession game. If you watching that game, if Kansas City, Pat Mahomes and that offense are moving the ball and they're scoring touchdowns and they are jumped out to a 14, 17, or 21-point lead, I don't think the Ravens come back from that. Because I don't think Lamar has gotten better passing. I don't think he can just line up and beat them throwing the ball. Lamar cannot line up every play and throw the ball and beat the Kansas City defense. He can't do that. I'm sorry. He can't. And that's how Kansas City used to beat them before. It would be a high-scoring game. And that's not what the Ravens want to do with Kansas City. They can do that everywhere now with everybody else, but I don't know if they want to do that with Kansas City. Because they doing that, that means it's a high-scoring game. That means Kansas City receivers are getting open against that Baltimore secondary. And that's a problem. That means the running game is effective. That means the offensive line for the Chiefs are blocking Baltimore's defensive line. And I don't know if that's good news for the Ravens. The Ravens have to be 2-dimensional. They have to be able to have that option. The run game is still in effect, and the passing game is still in effect. But they cannot be one-dimensional. If Kansas City stops that run and forces Baltimore to have to throw the ball to beat them, I don't think Baltimore can win this game. I'm sorry. I don't. Now that's where Coach Spags come into play. That's why I said Lamar comes into play. The Chiefs playing with house money. Pat Mahomes playing with house money. Do you know that Pat Mahomes in the six years he's been the starting quarterback, he's been in the AFC Championship game every year? That's remarkable. Kansas City has been in the AFC Championship game every year. They got beat by Tom Brady, and they got beat by Joe Burrow. But every other year they've been in the NFC champ. They've been in the championship game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Chiefs coming into this game playing with house money. Kansas City ain't got nothing to worry. They can go in there free willy. They go in there, man, just go out there and play. They don't have nothing to worry about. They don't have nothing to worry about. The Kansas City Chiefs does not have nothing to worry about. They can just go play. This game right here, you look at the coaches. Andy Reid against Mike McDonald. Can the old genius in Andy Reid, who has seen all kind of defenses his entire career, who used to practice when he was with the Eagles, used to practice against Jim Johnson, the blitzing, the old man, the blitzing guy used to be the Eagles defensive coordinator, outstanding. He passed away, God rest his soul, a few years ago. Andy Reid going against a young buck and Mike McDonald, the former defensive coordinator at Michigan, who's up for a couple head coaching jobs. He might not get one this cycle, but come next year, he probably gonna get some. And the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, Coach Spags, is he going against Todd Monken, the former offensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs? What scheme? I'm very interested in looking and seeing what is Andy Reid and Coach Spags got cooked up for Mike McDonald and Todd Monken. I really want to see it. I really, really want to see it. Can Andy Reid find ways to attack Mike McDonald's defense? How is he attacking him? How is he trying to run the ball? How is he protecting Pat? Is Pat running around for his life? How is Mike McDonald attacking Andy Reid? Man, I'm trying to tell you, this is right here something to see. And also, can Coach Spags come up with a way to force Lamar to be a forced thrower? Not throw when he wants to throw. Force him to, he has to throw the ball because the run game ain't working. They took the run game away. And Lamar, you got to beat me with your right arm. That's the only way you're going to win this game. I want to see if Lamar can do it. I don't think he can. I'm sorry. I don't think he can. I don't think Lamar can do it. I think this right here is going to prove to us whether or not Lamar can be who he think he can be. Meaning that he feel like he can throw the ball. He feel like he's developed. I'm skeptical. I don't think so. But we're going to see. Because Kansas City, that should be their game plan. Their game plan should be, how can we make Lamar one-dimensional and just be a thrower of the football? Because that's the weakest part of his game, is throwing the football. That's the weakest part. The best part of his game is running the ball, still. Now, during the regular season, he didn't do it that often. Last week against Houston, he ran it. He ran 11 times for 100 yards last week and a touchdown. That's 10 yards a carry. Is he going to be able to do it? That's the whole key right there. That's the key to the game. Force Lamar into a passer. And also, the key is, can Kansas City receivers, can they have the game of the season Sunday? They're going to have their best game for them to beat Baltimore. To give Pat Mahomes the option for him to be great. Because Pat going to show up. Now, as the outside forces, because they're going to take Kelsey away. Kyle Hamilton is going to be on them. They probably going to have two people on Travis Kelsey. They're going to say, Kelsey, you not beating us. All the rest of y'all got to beat us. Now, can Kansas City other receivers get the job done? This is where a guy like Kadarius Toney comes into play. If he's healthy, if he's able to play, this is where because he has difference-making ability. He's just inconsistent. They showed you in the Super Bowl. The punt return, the touchdowns. Kadarius Toney, is he going to make up for everything he messed up on from the first game of the season to the latter parts of the season with lining up offside, not being disciplined, to right now when they need him the most? This is when they need him. Can Kadarius Toney come up with that win? Can he do it? We about to find out. We gonna find out. But I think, man, this is all about Lamar. That game right there is all about Lamar. And can Lamar get the job done? We're about to find out. I'm trying to tell you, man, this thing gonna be spectacular. 3 o'clock on Sunday. You best believe we're gonna find out. The next game, 6 o'clock, Lions, Detroit. The whole city of Detroit, the streets gonna be empty. Everybody gonna be watching their game in Detroit. The whole state of Michigan, let's say that, versus San Francisco 49ers. And I believe this right here, the game plan for the Lions is to run the ball at the 49ers defense. The San Francisco 49ers defense last week against the Packers, defensively, especially that defensive line, they did not land a glove on Jordan Love. They ain't touch him. No pressure. Other than Bosa a couple times. Apart from that, once they had Bosa under control, they really could do anything they wanted to do. I believe the Lions gonna come out. They're gonna attack that Niners defensive line. I think the Lions gonna come out. They're gonna attack that San Francisco 49ers defensive line. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna attack Chase. They're gonna attack Randy Gregory. See how bad they want it. See, this is an old school physicality game right here. The San Francisco 49ers ready for a fight. Because Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions, they coming in there, they feel like it's physicality. We gonna fight you. They're gonna try to run that ball, be physical, and then they're gonna attack that poor secondary for the 49ers. Play action. They're gonna attack Aubrey Thomas. The former Michigan corner. They're going to attack him. Number 20 for the 49ers. They're going to attack him. Last week alone, he had 2 big pass interference penalties. He gave up 2 big pass interference, and he's been giving up plays all year. Aubrey got to get it. He better get it together, too, because if he don't get it together, he's going to be out of a job soon. The 49ers defense did not play well last week against the Packers. Whereas though Detroit leaned on Jared Goff. This week coming in, it's going to be both. But they're going to try to run that ball. They're going to try to establish physicality. They're going to try to be physical, attack the 49ers secondary, play action, and then the key again, like it is every week with Detroit, Jared Goff cannot turn the football over. Jared Goff cannot do anything stupid. And if he don't do anything stupid, they got a great chance of winning. But as you flip this thing around, though, can Aaron Glenn come up with a game plan to stop Kyle Shanahan? Because Detroit going to try to be physical. They're going to try to run the ball. Old school style. They're going to try to run the ball, keep San Fran on the sideline. However, can Aaron Glenn come up with a way to stop the 49ers? Meaning, is he going to come up with a way where he's going to be able to stop Kyle Shanahan? I don't know about that. I don't know if Aaron Glenn can do that. I don't know. I got to see it. If Detroit's going to win this game, they're going to be led by their offense. The Detroit Lions, Aaron Glenn is not going to slow down Kyle Shanahan, even if Debo don't play. Man, these boys, even if Debo don't play, they still got McCaffrey. They still got Kittles. They still got Ayuk. Man, these boys, they got weapons. Kyle Shanahan got weapons all over the place. Purdy. See, this is a game right here where Purdy shouldn't fear nothing. Detroit's secondary is porous as well. Purdy should be able to throw that thing. It shouldn't be raining. Should be no excuses. He should be out there slinging it. I think they're going to have time. They're not going to have Aiden Hutchinson on Trent Williams. He's going to be on the other side. Because if you put him on Trent, that's a waste. Because Trent ain't giving him no pressure. So Kyle Shanahan, even if Debo don't play, if Debo play, The only way the Lions win this game is by ball control. They're going to have to play ball control. They got to play ball control, and when they get to the red zone, they got to score a touchdown. You can't be kicking no field goals to beat the Niners this week because Kyle Shanahan is going to score against Aaron Glenn. Kyle Shanahan is going to put up points on Aaron Glenn. So Detroit has to score as well. The only way Detroit is going to win this game, they have to score points and try to slow the 49ers down. How are they going to do that on defense, on the lines that being, I don't know. The only way they're going to be able to do that is by forcing turnovers. Steal some possessions from the 49ers. That's the only way. I don't believe Brock Purdy is going to play poorly. Brock Purdy going to play well. He had a bad game last week for his standards. But you got to remember now, towards the end of the game, he led them on the game-winning drive to get the for McCaffrey to get the touchdown. He led them on that drive for Chris McCaffrey to get that 5-yard touchdown. So Purdy coming in this thing, Purdy should be having his confidence. He's like, man, listen, I played a bad game. I ain't playing bad against these boys. I'm going to get this win. And I think Purdy's going to play well. Purdy's going to play well, y'all. Purdy's going to play well. Kyle Shanahan, I don't think Aaron Glenn is going to slow down Kyle Shanahan. I'm sorry. I can't see it. Now, I can see Detroit slowing down the 49ers offense by keeping them off the field, by running the ball. Not necessarily taking the air out the game, but being physical, run the ball control offense, not being in a hurry to score. And that's why it is so key for Jared Goff to not give Kyle Shanahan easy possessions. Extra possessions, I should say, excuse me. He cannot give Kyle Shanahan extra possessions. Because if he give him extra possession, the 49ers are going to score more points. I believe that, y'all. I believe that. I really do. I think the 49ers will win this game. I think the 49ers are going to win this game. And I think we're going to have a Chiefs 49ers rematch. I think that's what we're going to have. I think for me, I think Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, and them boys will get the job done. I think San Francisco 49ers will beat Detroit. Detroit will play a good game, but the 49ers will end up winning that game, and we will have a Pat Mahomes versus Kyle Shanahan Super Bowl in Vegas. That's my pick, y'all. That's my pick. Man, hit the sled. Hit the sled, man. I truly appreciate y'all watching me on Hit the Sled. Hey, man, this thing, we got a lot of things going, a lot of things we trying to do, a lot of things we got planned for. Man, I truly appreciate y'all. Hit the sled. Hey, this is it. The Final Four. The Final Four. Hit the sled. Subscribe. Kansas City will beat the Baltimore Ravens, and the San Francisco 49ers will beat the Detroit Lions for them to meet in the Super Bowl in Vegas. Man, I appreciate y'all watching. Hit the sled. Subscribe, like me. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We everywhere. I appreciate y'all. Hit the sled.